Still, the small human needs me. Hi. Oh, get the curls going. Alright. Hello, and welcome to Hobbies and Hyperfocus. My name is Pam. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm coming to you under the rainbow uh, from Treaty 6 territory in Canada, which is Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And that is the traditional homelands of the Cree, Dene, Nakota, Dakota, and Lakota people. I'm going to put it down here because I think I've missed somebody. But it's Treaty 6 territory. Okay. I've tried to do this like 3 times, and my small humans, my cats, have been doing the thing today. My hair is curly because I walked the dog first thing, and it's been pouring rain. Thank God. Because if you probably don't know, but we've had a lot of forest fires in Saskatchewan since the beginning of May, and we need the rain. It is kind of a bummer because walking the dog in the rain is not fun, but it's got to be done. It's the done thing. I've been watching too much Bluey. So, um, I did try to film this in the end of May, beginning of June. And for some reason the video, the recording didn't quite record, or it got deleted when I did my when I did my cleanup, because I had to clean my Mac. And so, yeah, we're starting over. Thankfully, I haven't done a huge number of projects, so it won't be very long. And since I can't see because I'm old and too old to see, I'm going to do my tarot card of the day, which today is the Ace of Wands. And so the Ace of Wands is fire. So force, will, how else do you explain it? It's creative, but it's creative in the moving forward and not the mental kind of thing. So I'm going to read to you what the book says, and this is the This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman. So it says, Ace of Wands is the green light. A hand that is reminiscent of the hand of God holds the wand, a wand for you, blossoming with possibilities. Aces are potential beginnings. Wands are passion, fire, drive, and the love of life. Combine these two concepts, and the Ace of Wands is raw, creative energy. The Ace of Wands is an epiphany. If any card says yes, go for it to your crazy idea, it's this one. In the scenery, we see many examples of innovation, and the river flows freely. Human creativity has great potential, and this wand is for you. What's driving you lately? What are you all fired up about? If you have a dream, it's time to chase it. If you don't feel like you have a dream right now, then be on the lookout for it. It's likely coming your way. If not, the Ace of Wands may be asking you to delve deeper. Have you given up on dreams or postponed them indefinitely? Dredge them up. The Ace of Wands gives you its enthusiastic blessing. Oh, cat just disappeared. She's magic. Actually, this is Princess. Where did you go, Princess? Here she is. Sorry, she disappears into the background. She's a pretty kitty. Okay, so the Ace of Wands. We're going to go do creative things. I don't know if I've felt super creative lately, so I've kind of been stuck. I've been backed away from doing YouTube apparently, and watching uh, Flosstube and like just being involved because I just kind of felt stuck for a while after all the crap that was going down in my life. And so now I'm trying to get back to it. I don't really have a lot to say about that. So since I'm going to try a new thing, let's get in on the new thing. I'm going to try this, see if it works. So hopefully there'll be a video, another video showing at the bottom here, either me or the stitching. So the first one I want to talk about is my yearly project, and that is my tarot tracker. I try to draw a card every day, and I'm tracking it to see if there's patterns. So if you can see this, this is the tarot tracker, and this is up to the end of May. That's the end of May. I haven't quite gotten to start the June stuff yet, so move over so I can sort of see this. So I usually do like a month at a time because each of these little things only takes a minute or so. So I track the whole month in my planner, and then I do the stitching. And so what I'm trying to do is trying to find the patterns that are showing up in this. And so you can see there's a pattern here. That's where I was sick. So that's the gray ones are ones when I didn't pull a card. And so far I've only not pulled a card for 16 days because I was in the hospital and then I was recovering and I just couldn't sit up long enough to do it. So we have our 5 main, what would you call it? My brain is just not working today. The 5 main suits of cards. So you can see the purple is our spiritual cards or our major arcana. Those are major overarching themes. So you see them here. There's a lot of those. Then we have our wands, which are the red ones, the ones that we just pulled. Like wands. Wands, like I said, are the element of fire. Fire is passion, love of life, creativity, drive, energy. So I don't have a lot. They don't show up very often for me. Then we have our yellow ones, which are swords. Swords are the other kind of creativity, the element of air, the intellectual. So like the not working with passion, but creative in the terms of thinking and dreaming and that kind of stuff. So I get a lot of these, and they tend to lump together. So we see a lot. So a lot of mental creativity, not a lot of drive. Then we have the element of water, which is the cups. Cups is emotional connection, that kind of thing. So we have those show up a bit, but not as much as maybe it's just that the yellow stands out more. But yeah, it's a little bit of blues here. So yeah, that's emotional, human connection, that kind of thing. And then lastly, we have the pentacles or earth. These ones are often to do with financial or the physical realm or like health, that kind of stuff. So we have quite a bit of those too. So that's where I've gotten, yeah, like I've said, I've only gotten to May, and then tomorrow, once I've pulled the last card, I will do all of June. So it'll go up and around this way, and then up and around this way. And this is a purchased pattern from the Steady Thread. They do have a year-long stitch along, which you do a motif every week. I haven't really kept up with it I think I'm like 4 weeks behind, like this. I haven't, actually, no, I'm 2 months behind because I haven't done it for a while. I haven't done it in May and I haven't done it in June. So I have to catch up to that. And then I possibly will have it to show you next time. So this is black work instead of cross stitch. And I tend to do a lot of, I don't know, I mean, needle arts. That's all it has to be. So that was the first one I've worked on. And I think I shifted my thing here. Okay, the second thing that I worked on is Kidmeal Felche. Now, if you noticed, the last time I showed it, I had like everything except for this line done. So I finished this line, and I had done all of this back stitching, but now I'm gonna finish. I finished this one, went up, finished this row. So I just gotta outline. I have to outline everything in black, and then I have to wash it, and then I'm gonna have to stretch it and find out if I can find a frame, or I don't know how I'm gonna finish this one. I want to put it up because this one was the oldest pattern in my collection. So this is the oldest one I kept, and it was from the 90s, early 90s, early 1990s. And it was one I found in a magazine, probably just Cross Stitcher, and it was by a Patricia O'Thomas. And Kidmeal Felche obviously means 100,000 welcomes, and it's in Gaeilge, which is one of the languages that I studied. I'm not proficient in Gaeilge. I'm not proficient in any other language other than English. Um, that got weird. I did a weird fuzzy thing there for a minute. I actually am somebody who likes to do languages. So currently I'm learning French, which I've been learning for 40 some years. So French, Gaeilge, which is Irish, Gaelic, which is Scottish, Cymraeg, which is Welsh, Italian, German, Spanish, Norwegian, Bokmål, Sukmoi, which is Finnish, Russian. I think I'm learning Russian, and a Ukrainian. So 11 languages. And like, I don't know why I go down those rabbit holes, but I do. So where we are with this one is I still have to outline. So I'm starting to go this way to outline around. I don't know if I probably will outline all the way around as well. Outlining it's just back stitching, and I don't hate back stitching. It's something that you can do easily, and not really pay a huge amount of attention to. So it's something I can do while I'm watching TV or watching YouTube or doing something else, listening to an audiobook. So that's where we are with that. So that one I did. Oh wait, I'm gonna pull up my. Not in July. I'm not in July yet. Where's Kidmeal Felche? So I have done. I haven't tracked it. About 21 days of it in 2025. So I'm hoping only 3 or 4 more days, but who knows. Okay, then this one is my, whoops, Sorry, dropped my pointy straw stick. This is the one, I haven't ironed anything here, so too bad for you. Oh, it's off center. Okay, so this is the one round robin that I do have with me. I do need to remember to check up on the other round robin. This is Autumn is Joyful, and this is with Chinook Crafter and no, not Chinook Crafter, Steph Pocket Roddy and friends. I don't remember whose this is. I think it's a Rachel, but this one has been difficult for me. When I got it, the ones that I put in so far are this. I put this one in. No, this one was already in. I did this one on my last one. This one, the turkey, the N, this flower, this one, and then there'll be another one right here that I have to do. Like, I pulled some stuff out here, so it's like a little fluffy. Yeah, so like I'll be doing one more over here, I think, and maybe a few more little ones. But this one I got, this one came to me at the end of April, beginning of May. I know I don't think I showed it last time because I didn't have it last time, and that was in April. So this one has been very difficult for me. Like, I know last time I showed Step Pocket Rod, I think it was Steps, and it was on a sparkly linen. But this one has been difficult only because this is a 46 count fabric, which means it's really, really tiny. 46 is 23 count when you're doing 2/2. And my eyes do not enjoy this. Like, once I get going, I'm good, but I have to do it in a really bright environment, and with it being super cloudy lately, the room that I usually stitch in is not dark enough, or not bright enough. So yeah, I find it difficult, which is why I've had to like tear things out. It's not dyed, it's just fuzzy. So yeah, so like yeah, I did my turkey, and he didn't look great when he was when I was doing him, but I think the problem with him is that when you're up close, it's really hard to tell. So now, like, when I look from here, from when I'm like about a foot away, he looks really good. But when I was up close, he was like, oh, he doesn't really look like a turkey. Did I do him wrong? Like, why is he blue? But I guess that's gray. So yeah, so this one and this one, and then I think I'll be moving over to one. I think there's a moose over here. I've lost track of where the moose is. There's a moose in here somewhere. So there's a moose, and then it goes over this way, and then I think we go up. So I have, I think, another month to get my part done before I pass it on, I think. And then I will be getting Megan's, and Megan's, I think she said was 18 count. So maybe that'll be easier on my eyes. Because mine was, I think I did mine on 32. Because yeah, I used to do everything on 40 count, but I found that that is not my sweet spot anymore. So I'm not doing it. It's just difficult for my eyes, and I'm struggling between the glasses. I don't like the glasses just because you can see the shininess in it. And then my focus piece for the year is this one so far, Mermaid of the Pearls. You can see all of her, and I dropped my stick again. Hey, Mermaid of the Pearls. This is my unicorn pattern, and I got it from, I borrowed it from Judy, and I want to get it back to her, so I want to get this done. Because it's a very fancy pattern. I don't know if you can really tell with the sparkle, but I last month was getting frustrated. I had done all of this and all of her body. Like, I think the first time I showed it, I only had a little bit of this, and then I moved up. It's like the middle is around here somewhere. I moved up, I did all this fin, the pink part, and then all her hair and her body. And because I was missing all the sparkly metallic stuff, I was off by one, and then I was off by another, and it compounded. And so I had to rip out and redo all the hair and all the body and the hand. And so I just bit the bullet and I ordered the metallics. This is Petite Treasure Braid rather than the Krynic. I was having a hard time finding the Krynics, which apparently is a thing. So I converted them to Petite Treasure Braid, and I couldn't find the right type of Petite Treasure Braid because this is like supposed to be number 8 Krynic, which is a thicker. So I'm doing Petite Treasure Braid. I'm just doubling it up. I don't know if that's the correct way to do it, but it works. It's working for me. And like I said, this is the second time I've done this pattern. The first time I did the pattern was when my older daughter was a baby. Before I divorced my first husband, and when I left, I don't know if this was given away, thrown away, or sold, but he took a lot of my stuff that I had done. Not all of it, but none of it. And he got rid of the stuff that I had finished but hadn't fully finished. Because back in the old days, in the 90s, 90s and early 2000s, when I did these, because they're huge patterns, the only thing you can really do with them, I think, is frame them. And the framing was $100, $200. Ooh, that was cheap back then. Or actually, back then it was expensive, but now it would be cheap. And so when I did it, it was in a box waiting to be framed, because I didn't have the money to frame everything I did, but I compulsively stitched when my kids went to bed. And when I got all my stuff after my divorce, some of them were missing. I knew which ones I had done, but they weren't all there anymore. And so this one I no longer had the pattern, even though I probably would have done a working copy with this. Sorry, there's flies all over it. My daughter leaves the door open. Because I had working copies of some of my patterns, my ex-husband was an engineer. So the thing is, he could take these patterns, this type of pattern, to work and scan them and copy them on the plotter, which is the big engineering printer type thing. But I didn't have copies of the pattern anymore, or my, like, I usually kept the pattern and then I'd have my working copies, and I no longer had either the pattern or the working copies either. So I had to restart, and I think, who was it? Cross Stitching the Globe. They had a thing about Mirabilias or other, I don't know which one it was, but she asked what was your unicorn pattern, and I said I would love to redo this one, because this one and Waiting for Ships I did, and those were the two primary ones that I noticed were missing. I've also noticed the queens, two queens that I did were missing, but they were not my favorites. My mermaids are my favorites, So I really, really love mermaids and fairies, and angels not so much, but mermaids and fairies. So this one was the first mermaid of Mirabilia's and the first one I did. And then Waiting for Ships was the second. And then I had started, it wasn't the Twin Mermaids, but I had started the third pattern she had come out with, I think it was. It's the two mermaids that were twisted together, two sister mermaids. And that's when our marriage collapsed. And when I returned to cross stitching, I pulled that one out. That one was still in the frame. And it was such a mess. I could not figure out where it was. So I actually had to, like, the fabric was stained. It was a mess. Over 10 years of sitting in a thing, uh, wrapped in a towel on the frame. It was just a mess. I threw it away. I had to restart. It's raining right now, yeah. Okay, but yeah, okay. I'm almost done. So, sorry, small human interruption. So, this is one of my unicorn ones that I actually was super thrilled to do and wanted to get framed. And so I said that, and then somebody named Judy Williams from the US reached out and said, I have the pattern, you can borrow it. And so I want to get this back to her by the end of the year. So this is like my focus piece right now. And when I'm done this focus piece, I have another Mirabilia that I have borrowed that I need to focus on. I just haven't got the fabric for yet. So the fabric is 28 count Whirlpool by Picture This Plus. And I still had most of the things still on the cards. Like, I keep things on floss drops, and back in the old days when I first did this one, I had them on floss drops, and then I'd write in pencil what the symbol was. And a lot of these, especially the pinks, still were on the card with the symbol on them. So, but I didn't have any of the metallics left. I do have some of the beads, but I need to buy the beads. But other than that, I think I can get her done by the end of the year. Hopefully by the end of the summer at the rate I'm going. And where am I? I have, oops, I want to go to this. I have finished 88. I did, of stitching, I have 88 hours and 57 minutes. And of frogging, I had 15 hours. So that's where I am with this, because I had to frog all of the body and all of the hair out and redo it. And I'm finding the Krynic, or not the Krynic, the Petite Treasure Braid okay. I'm not a huge fan of fraying stuff. I used to use a silicone, like it would come in a little cube, and you'd run your thing through it to keep the fabric fuzzies together. And I'm finding I don't really need to do that, but I don't know where to get it anymore because we don't have a local stitching shop. And so I'm finding that the metallics are a little bit harder for me to do. But if I do them in shorter ones, because I have to use Petite Treasure Braid, which is thin, and this one calls for number 8, which is a thicker one. I just double it up. I think that's how I'm supposed to do it. It's working, so I mean, whatever works, right? That's how it works. Literally. Okay, and that is pretty much all the actual stitching I've done since the last time I filmed. I'm going to turn this one off. Okay, so other than that, like I said, I have fallen off the Flosstube thing. I've been having a hard time keeping up with the Flosstube because right now there's just been too much other stuff going on. And I don't know, the further behind I get, the more I don't want to catch up. So I think I'm just going to cut my losses and just catch up from where we are today. Just go back to watching that. Like I said, I have 2 round robins that I'm working on, and other than the mermaid and then waiting, it's not, oh, I can't remember what her name is. It's the moon one. Those will be the the mermaid and I will put up a picture over here when I remember what it's called. Um, those would be my focuses for the year. I've chosen not to do Monopoly or the randomizer this year. I want to get those done and back to the people who own the patterns. Sorry, I've got the hiccups here. But other than that, I have the 2 round robins. Now, this round robin that I showed, I got that Steph sends it to me. So we're on the 3rd one. So I've done mine, Steph's, and now I think it's Rachel. I will have to look. I cannot remember everybody's name. But the 2nd round robin is a Carolyn Manning round robin that I'm doing with Anna Meyer, who's Anna Books and Stitches, and Chinook Crafter. And usually I get from Chinook Crafter and I send to Anna, and then so I should, and the other person that's in our team, maybe that's Rachel. My brain has totally fried and I don't know who is who anymore. But I'm supposed to be getting one from Chinook Crafter. And I know she said something about having to send things before the Canada Post strike, which was they were threatening to strike again beginning of May. And so I rushed and I sent mine out to Anna via UPS because I was like, I'm not playing this game. The last time things got stuck, and I don't want to play this game with Canada Post Chicken. So I sent it, and UPS said that it was delivered successfully, but I haven't heard from anyone, so I don't know. So right now I don't have anything on that round robin with me to work on. So I really don't know where that is at. I have to remember to check with Michelle to see where we are with that one, because I don't want to skip out, and if something is lost, I want to let them know right away. But I thought she had said she'd sent it, and then I just haven't received anything. The tarot, I have a month of that to be. Other than that, I've been working on making stickers. So my little guy has been making these characters. You can see they're all labeled. So these characters I scanned, and I've been creating stickers with my Cameo, which is a silhouette. It's like a cricket. And so we scan them, and we've done number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we did. Yeah, those 5 we've done so far. And I have to scan these ones and make them into sticker sheets. So I make them into sticker sheets that look like these. These are like some that I made. So I kiss cut them so that they're like just little stickers. And then I can stick them into books or my it's usually in my planner that I have them. But yeah, like he has all these little designs that he wants to make, and I want to make them into little stickers so that I can remember all his little artwork. He keeps bringing me little artwork. There's some more. These are like monsters of some kind. Here's more cannies, which are the other guys. And so like we're working on making little stickers for his friends that he can share, and school's over, so he had sent we had made 32 of each of those because he wanted to give one to every kid in his class plus his teacher. So that's that was been a big focus lately. Um, yeah, like I said, summer vacation has started for kids. I'm working from home tomorrow, but my employer has said this year I am not to be out of the office all summer because I'm training the new guy. Don't know if I talked about new guy, but basically what happened was that I had last year I couldn't go to Stitch North or anything because I was training somebody who turned out to be a very, very bad employee. He had no interest in learning how to do anything. And every time we tried to do something, he would try and take me to HR about not being respectful enough to him. And I'm like, I'm your manager, not your friend. Like, I don't have to fluff you up constantly. If you're doing something wrong, I have to address that because this stuff is not the kind of work that we do compounds. So if we don't do it correctly, then when we pass it to the next team, they can't do it correctly. And then it causes a lot of issues. So when I got really, really, really sick, I thought I had trained him on this task. And I guess he had been out sick the week before, the whole week before, and we hadn't had time to go through it again, but we needed to get it started doing the day that I was out. And he was there and he texted me, and of course, I was high on Dilaudid, which meant all I did was sleep for a week. So he realized, I guess, quite quickly that he did not have the backup. He did not know how to do any of that stuff. And so he gave his notice while I was in the hospital. And because he had done that, um, I had to come back to work a lot earlier than I should have been had to come back. Like I could not trust that he was going to get anything done, and it was the worst time of the year to do it. So he ultimately got walked out of the office. He tried to give notice, but because he hadn't been doing any actual work the weeks that after he gave notice, um, and he wasn't helping anyone, he was asked to leave. And all of pretty much all of March, when I half of February when I finally got back to the office. So like I was in the hospital for a week and then I took a week off on vacation, as they called it, because I only have 5 sick days. Um, I got back so half of February, and then all of March, all of April, I was doing it all on my own, and it was the busiest time of the year for our department. So then they finally hired um, a new person in May. And instead of hiring an assistant to my role, what we've decided to do is we are going to split the role. My my original um, analyst had gone on mat leave. When she came back, they decided that she was going to go to corporate and do payroll because that's what she had been doing on her mat leave. She had taken classes to do payroll administration, so she was more suited to that. They needed somebody in that role. That seems to be how it works in my role. Assistants have gone to different departments several times. Um, so then they hired this. They were looking for somebody to do accounting type stuff, and he applied, and he had worked for the company that we do our database program comes from for 13 years. So instead of having him become an assistant, what is going to happen is we're going to split the role. So, like this, I'm going to continue to be the head, the leader for now, and I'm going to take on the commercial side and the corporate side, and then, just sort of run the rest of it. And he's going to focus on the residential side. So our residential side is both residential rentals and residential condos. So he's focusing on that, plus our cafe side. And as we go and go and go, it'll eventually become two completely separate but crossed over um, roles. I have a really, so far we've worked together for 2 months, so May and June, and he is so much further ahead than the last guy. Like, he doesn't do as much Excel stuff as I do, but he knows the program better than I do because he worked for the company that built it. Um, so like he knows how to get tickets dealt with. He picks them up right away. He knows how to deal with accounting. He's much more customer service oriented than I am. And so then I can focus on writing the SOPs and handling the SQL issues and the Excel problems because I like Excel and I do a lot of Excel. I tend to focus on Excel all the time. Like he said, you would drive your car in Excel if you could. I would. I don't like Word, but I like Excel. So I've been focusing on that. And that meant that this month, because I was training a new person, I could not just leave and go to the Edmonton retreat that was last week, even though I could have just driven there and I could have stayed with my brother and his wife. I just I couldn't leave because I have agreed with my manager that I will be in the office every day this summer to to continue to train. But it also means that once summer is over, I can take my 4 weeks of vacation, actually three now because I took 1 week sick, but I can take my 3 weeks of vacation again. Not all at once, but by then we should have crossed over enough that he would know how to do my job. I already knew how to do his. And I can go to the different stitching retreats. My mother's still talking about going to Nova Scotia, although I don't understand why, because it's cheaper to go to Europe than it is to go to Nova Scotia. And possibly just take days off, which for the last 3 years I have not been able to do unless I was sick. So that's going good. And everything else seems to be okay. The forest fires have calmed down. kids are out of school. My smaller one is going to be going to summer camps all summer, other than the week that his father's off and the week that his sister is looking after him. And other than that, everything seems to be going okay. My one cat is going to the vet tomorrow. I'm kind of concerned about him because suddenly he has not been able to get his piddle into the piddle box. He's 10 years old. He's drinking a lot of water. He's not grooming himself all of a sudden, and I'm concerned about kidney failure. So we're going to the vet tomorrow. Canada Day is Tuesday. We're probably not doing anything for that because I think it's going to be raining. And that's about my life. If I have the energy, I will do a little screenshot video voiceover thing on how I do the sticker things for my son. But because I tried to do that last time and it didn't work, I think this time, if I can't get to it today, then I'm just going to post this and I'll make that an extra. So I will stop babbling now because really, who cares? And get this posted because it's been over a month since the last time I tried to do this. And I'm hoping that my new plan works. We'll see. But for now, keep stitching, keep smiling, and I'll see you next time. Bye.